Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you some really amazing things in an area in the back office of the Facebook advertising called Audience Insights. Okay, that's just the one thing I want to cover in this specific video, and then I'll cover some of the other ones in different things in different videos. But if you know how to properly use this tool, it can save you a lot of time and headache and guesswork on who your target market is, okay? Or actually how to reach your target market. Now, I have to show you this ahead of time so that you can really engage or believe that I know what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to show you some results from some of my personal ad campaigns off of just my account. I have been hired before and you know, continually get hired to do things for corporations and companies and things like that, to do theirs, so they have a lot of times they're separate ones. But I'm just going to show you one of my personal accounts to show you the results and what the ad spend is and the results from this ad spend, because it's really I think it's really impressive, and I want to show it to you so you can see that I know what I'm talking about. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how you can do it, because I didn't know any of this stuff really not that long ago, and it was just a matter of watching a few videos from some other people I respected, and then I went through and I tweaked some of the things. I improved on what I'd learned from what even they had shown me, and then kept going. And because of all this, so I'm going to show you the basics of what's really going to work for you. And when you see this stuff, it's mind-boggling how cool it is. So let me just show you these results real quick. I'm going to blow this up so we can see it better. I want to show you the total campaigns right here. I'm sorry, not total campaigns, but I've had a total of some of these, my personal things that I've done, 74,000 clicks, which means I may have run a post, a boost post, some of the other stuff, you know, the blog post, the links to websites, specific landing pages and things like that. But collectively, Facebook has tracked all that, and it reached over 154,000 people through social, and then the total reach was 941,785. That number right there represents people that had seen the whole thing. Here's the cool part, and it might look like a lot to you at the moment, but this is spread out over a period of time, was $8,602, okay? If you look over here, 203 campaigns, okay? 203 campaigns I spent $8,000 on. Now, that doesn't mean anything to you, but I want to show you, I need to show you this right here, is some of these campaigns, like this one right here I did, this one was for somebody that I did. They had 6,412 clicks, and if we go over here to the amount, they spent $512 to get it. So the math on that is that's 7 cents a click, and it was to an album for somebody that wanted to sell their music, and I helped them out and did the thing, and then, you know, and so on. But you know, that's pretty crazy, and it's 7 cents a click. But the post right here is pretty incredible. This one right here, 4,662 clicks, and the ad spend on that was $137. $137. That's 2 cents per click. So I'm driving traffic to my website for 2 cents in some cases. Let me find one that's a little more expensive. This one right here is one that I spent a little more money on. It was $780. It says here that the cost per click was 29 cents, but it actually came out to 19 cents because I had a bunch of shares with that as well. See, these post shares actually will drive your cost down and so on. And then one of my favorite ads that I ever ran, that I'm going to do a full-blown training on this one because I just nailed it. 3,575 clicks, and it cost me 85 bucks. That's 2 cents a click. And all these things that I'm showing you with the clicks, it turns into conversions, meaning it either became a lead for something, they opted in, or they bought something. And in a lot of cases, I drove traffic straight to almost a buy button. In a handful of these, it was going straight there. There wasn't any content. It was just look at the information, and they made a decision on that. So the cost per lead is crazy. Okay, so anyhow, I know I spent a little time on that, but it's impressive to see what you can do. I mean, I can go down and show you some of my early ones where it was, you know, $1 or $2 per click, and there's nothing wrong with that because, like I said in one of the other videos, if you could hand me $1 and you hand me $1 and I handed you $2 back, you know, how many dollars do you want to give me? And that's really what you want to do, is you want to look to see that. And I'll do another video on specifically breaking it down. But let me get right into this tool of the audience insights and show you how you can narrow your audience down and figure out who you're targeting and how to specifically target them with ads. Okay, so again, I would recommend that you have a pen and paper at least handy with this, or, you know, if that's old school, if you want to pause the video and then go do it yourself so you know where everything's at and you can walk through it. So we'll kind of do a little virtual mentoring here on this. So where you find that is when you click on when you go into your admin area in the back office of Facebook, you'll see this page. It'll show you all of your, you know, ones that you've got active or not active and so on. And in the top left corner, you're going to see where it says right there, it says ad manager. And when you click on it, it's going to give you a drop down of some things, audiences, and I want to go just to this audience insights. Okay, so on audience insights, what we're going to do is it's going to now give you some options that you're going to look for specific info. You can pick the audience to start with everyone on Facebook, people specifically connected to your page, or even a custom audience. And these are just things that I'll show you each one step by step, but I'm just sticking to audience insights for this video. Okay, I typically, if I'm starting from scratch, I'm going to everyone on Facebook, and I click that. Okay, now this page is going to come up. It's going to look a little confusing at the beginning. There's a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to show you just the specific things that you want to focus on to find out what you're doing. Okay, so let me give you an example that I can use because I've done this before, that will help you to clearly do what you're doing. When I'm looking for my audience, okay, who I'm going to run ads to, and what, you know, because we know when we went into the insights part, it kind of showed those things. Instead of guessing, I want to make sure that I know specifically where I'm going to spend my money, and you can really take all of the data that that Facebook has put together for you and condense it down so that you're really laser focused on where your ad dollars are going. Okay, so I'm going to use an example of a let's say I have a book that I want to sell that is towards networkers. Okay, if you're not familiar with that, like direct sellers, network marketers, as I have a background in that as well. And I've done this already, but let's say I have a book that I want to sell to network marketers. And what I'm going to do is I now need to find out where those network marketers are hanging out on Facebook, okay, so that I can put a relevant ad in front of them, a relevant example of my book, so that they can click on it. And you know, I may show it in this video, but I may just show it in a separate one so you don't have to watch a 5-hour video on here. But so I'm looking for networkers. I'm going to dial that in, and I need to know kind of the ages I'm looking for and so on. So what I do is I go to over here, we've already got this up. It defaults to my country, which is the United States, and I leave everything else on here completely as is. But then when I go to interests, it will give me, or it'll give you, these drop downs. In case you don't have a clue what you're looking for, you can go through here. Now, I already know of some kind of leaders or people that already have pretty good audiences, followings in the network marketing space. So I typically start there, because then I'm going to show you where this thing gets really cool. Okay, so one of the top network marketing trainers and guy that does a lot of the videos out there and so on, it's very well renowned from the world renowned, is a guy named Eric Worre. Now, if I type in Eric Worre, you'll see that it gives me a couple examples, and the one that I want is this one at the top, which is his main blog page, or I'm sorry, his main Facebook page, which is Network Marketing Pro Eric Worre. Okay, what just happened is the magic just happened like that on Facebook, it now shows me the entire demographic of all of his fans. So he has approximately 300,000 or more active people. So there's more that have probably liked his page, but those are active. This is really, really important, I think, for you to understand spending your dollars on, okay? Because if I was going to send my book to somebody to get my book sold, maybe I'm trying to get them to join my, if I was in a network marketing business or whatever, I'm trying to narrow it down to the ad spend to the people that are the most relevant for my offer. It's what you have to narrow it down to, and you can with this tool, okay? So what I do then is I might take some notes just real quick on a little piece of paper, and I'm looking at this here and I go, you know what? It looks like the biggest audience that Eric Worre has, the most active, are between the ages of 25 and 55, okay? I probably would throw 65 in there as well, but 25 to 55. So I'm going to say my ages are 25 to 55, okay? And then it shows kind of a fairly even match a lot of times. There's more women, and I think sometimes you can get thrown off on those demographics on there because sometimes women are more active on Facebook and like to engage more, where a lot of guys like myself will just scroll through and look and look and look, and we won't engage, so it doesn't show us as really being super active, okay? But anyhow, you can also go down here and look at these different these more insights of who they are, what kind of people they are. And if you ever want to know what each one means, you can just mouse over it and it will give you the perfect example of who that household is, what they are. So a lot of Eric Worre's people are single parents, believe it or not, and a lot of them love the lavish lifestyle, okay? So that's kind of cool to know that. Now, that's nice, gives you a little insight, kind of narrow down your, if your age group that maybe you want to target. But here's what I just absolutely love is page likes. When you click on page likes, it gets you your top categories, but I skip these and I want you to scroll down. I scroll down here to page likes, and here's this to me is the magic right here in my favorite part of Audience Insights, is it's now going to narrow down from you everybody that has liked a similar page. And then you'll see here it says affinity, means it has the most relevance, the most similarities to the audience that's already with Eric Worre, but is a completely different audience that you can fish at, okay? So picture this to make this simple, if you're not familiar with this. Eric Worre has a pond. This person has a pond and there's a ton of fish in this pond, okay? However, you just found by pulling up Audience Insights and page likes another pond that has the exact same type of fish in this pond as this pond over here. And now if you know that, let's say I like bluegill, okay, we'll keep it simple. We'll do farm fed fish. You've got bluegill here in this pond, okay? You can use a worm. Your worm is your hook, your book or my book. And I know that they will bite on that. I can take that exact same worm and put it in this pond and get the exact same results because those fish, those people, are almost identical in just about every aspect as that audience. That's real important. Now, this is important, is on the right-hand side here, you'll see where it says affinity. You'll also notice that there's a number here, that they are like 58.1, 24 times. I never add, when I'm making an ad, I never add an audience that is not at least above 15% or higher. Typically it has to be in the teens, worst case, for me to put that audience in there. Otherwise, I risk getting my my ad in front of a person who has a very, very low relevance of what I'm really targeting, okay? This Audience Insights is such a good secret that people don't really truly understand. It's just amazing. Okay, so if I was to go through here and make an ad now, I would write down on a piece of paper, Network Marketing Pro. That's going to be my baseline first ad audience. I would then put the Ray Higdon one in here, right here, Ray Higdon, because he's got a 58 relevance. That's a beauty. Jim Rohn, if you're not familiar with Jim Rohn, he's a big networker. The relevance score dropped a little bit. It is a big audience, and a lot of networkers have liked him, so I might add that guy. But I like to look down here for even smaller audiences that have more specific people and a lot of personality base to them. Now, like Savvy Network Marketing Women, Todd Falcone, Sarah Robbins. I'm going to use Sarah Robbins as an example because I know who she is. If you click on, and what's cool is you can see if these pages really are making sense. So if you're selling bodybuilding magazines or a bodybuilding book, you could click on it, it would take you to show you, and if the guy looks like a bodybuilder, you're targeting the right market. But if I click on that, it's going to open me a new tab, and it will show me Sarah Robbins. Okay, Sarah Robbins is a big networker. She's been around for a long time, six-figure earner, but her audience is pretty massive. You can see right here, 234,000 people are part of her audience. Okay, so that's a perfect person right there that I would, and it's got a 32% relevancy. So what I've done is I write down, first off, I focus on primarily the age, kind of narrows it down, and then I put in my I write down the websites of the people, the audiences that are big enough that I can target. Now what I will typically do then and I'll and here's the thing too, let me show you this too. You can even layer it down one more. And let me show you this real quick. Okay, so let's use Ray Higdon as an example. I'm going to go here. I would go right here to where I put the first interest, take him out, take Eric out of there, and put Ray Higdon on here. There he is. And when I click on that, it's going to change, and now the page likes are going to bring up people, like I said, that are narrowed down that I might not have known that they've liked. Now if you look here, this one was close, Eric Ward, that's the first one, but all these other ones down here really don't show me a high enough relevancy score that I would ever add them to my ad. Okay, they're not in the percentages. It might be people that went to Ray Higdon. If you look, a lot of them are, some of them are like shopping places and higher end watch places. Like Michael Kors is, I think, a retail place. Okay, so I would not use that audience at all. Okay, and then maybe I would put Eric Worre back in. Go back here, and then when it came up, I would look and go, okay, maybe I'll put Todd Falcone in. I know Todd Falcone, great guy. There it is. Click on that, and the only reason is his audience isn't big enough. You see, and this is important for you to know this. When you click on here, his audience isn't so big that it brought up a lot of entries because it's not broad enough yet for what it is. So then I would just know that I did write him down as having a relevancy to my audience with Eric Worre, but he didn't give me anything when I went back and tried to go layer it down one more. The best thing you can do with this is go in and play around with it for a little bit. Okay, do your own due diligence. Log in here, go in, like I showed you in a second, because I'm going to wind this one down because it went a little long, is go into your ads manager, click on audience insights, click on that, and then it's going to locate, you can put anything in there, and you don't have to do it necessarily by person. You can do it by category. If you really don't know, you could say, like, let's say I mentioned bodybuilding a second ago. Let's say I have a bodybuilding book, bodybuilding, and I just click on the word bodybuilding because it's a thing, that's there. This is kind of cool because a lot of these bodybuilding things, it might show some of these up here. If I click on it, it's going to show me if I'm in the right place. Okay, so that's not, bodybuilding is not something I want to use, so I'll take it out of there, but I'll put bodybuilding, and it might see these. Or maybe there's magazines I'd like to try, like Muscle and Fitness Magazine. Okay, so I know Muscle and Fitness Magazine is a niche that I would target, and I look and you see they have all these, but then there's all these other ones, Men's Health, bodybuilding.com. So I was close with bodybuilding, but I didn't realize that if I click on bodybuilding.com, guess what? This is the perfect, this is actually a massive, probably the #1 online retailer of supplements, at least bodybuilding supplements out there. And I would be able to target those people specifically if I ran an ad directly to that, okay? So audience insights, I rarely hear people talk about it a lot of times, but it's such a useful tool to go in there and find that. And you can put anything in there. You can narrow it down. You can see the size of your audiences, and then you can click on the location of where these people are. You can look at their activity. You can look at the size of their household. You can look if they purchase online, retail spending, purchasing behavior. You know, I mean, and you can go through and get all those types of things in your ad that it helps increase it. So if if a dollar click was here because you had 2 items listed, when you put 5 items listed, instead of it being a dollar click, it might go down to 50 cents a click, and you got a couple more in there. It might drive down to about what I was showing you, which is 10-cent click, 7-cent click, 7-cent clicks, because it's hyper targeted, and I'm fishing in the right pond with the right bait at the right time. Okay, so I know I went a little long on this video, but this one's one you've got to study out. Audience insights will make you look like an absolute pro, and your bang for your buck will be spectacular. So hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on another video.